Hello everybody and welcome back to another My Porch Prints tutorials. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do a really quick and simple little journal with a matching writing board. So for mine I'm going to be using the Mothers and Daughters journal kit since Mother's Day is right around the corner. And you can use any kit for this though. A lot of our larger journal kits come with this large folding card that is included, and that's going to be sort of the main piece that we use to create the cover for the journal. And you'll want to print yours front and back, so like some sort of a decorative paper on the inside. I didn't do that here, so I will probably just glue something onto it and it'll still work, but just so you know, you'll want to print that front and back. And then for the board, we're actually going to be just using a plain piece of chipboard. I do have this linked down below, so check the description box if you are interested. I think this is a 5 by 8 inch piece, I believe. And it just kind of comes cut like that already. And then taking one of the pretty papers from that kit, I'm just going to fold it in half, cut it in half using that fold as sort of a guide. And then I just trimmed like a little bit more off the top and bottom to have it fit and leave sort of a border around it. And I'm going around these with some Distress Oxide in the color tea dye, and then just gluing those down to the board. Now you could use any color of distress ink that you want. You could also not use that at all. It's entirely optional. And then we're just going to glue those down to the front and back of the board to make it a little more decorative. Just like this. And then I'm going to use a bone folder to help me sort of smooth that out. And then going around my card with a little bit of distress ink in the color Vintage Photo, just to help it sort of stand out from the background a little bit. And I'm also rounding the sort of sharp edges of that card. I want them to all be rounded. And then I'm going around my board with that distress ink as well, just to make it look a little more aged, a little more finished. And I'm also taking some hardware to add to the corners. Now we have faux hardware if you want to like print those out and just glue those down instead of going and getting the real thing. That's perfectly fine. It gives you the same look. And then to finish the writing board, I'm just adding this little clip at the top here, just like this. And there you go. It's a real quick and simple way to make a little writing board. And it just clips, you know, your book onto it like this and gives you a hard surface to write on. Now to finish the journal here, we are going to be adding some pages. So I went ahead and printed some papers from like our Shabby book pages, roses and script, some lined paper. You can use any kit, any paper you want for this. I just went ahead and found some that I liked, and I'm just going to form a single signature here, stacking all of those pages up and then folding them in half, making sure I have the one I want, you know, showing on the front cover here on the outside like this. And I think I used about 8 to 10 pages, which gives me like 16 to 20 pages once it's all folded in half for writing. And I think that was plenty. Any more than that, you might get a little too thick to really clamp on, depending on the size of your clip. And then I'm just going to trim those papers down, so just using the cover, kind of tracing around it, and then, you know, using a clip to hold all the papers in place. I'm just going to trim them down to fit into the journal like this. And I wanted to add a little bit more distressing to them just to make them seem a little more finished. So I'm using this Tim Holtz tool here that like allows you to use a small blade to like scrape your pages, like the edges, and make them just look a little more distressed. Again, that's entirely optional. And then I'm going to be using the tea dye Distress Oxide to go over all of the pages, all of the edges of each page. This took a little bit of time, but I think it looks really nice when finished. And the pages just go into the journal like this. Now to secure it, I am going to use a pamphlet stitch, which if you are unfamiliar with pamphlet stitches, we do have a full tutorial, like a slow step-by-step tutorial on how to do that, and I will link that in the description box below for you if you are interested. But just real fast, I'm just going to kind of show you here how that works. We're just going to make 3 holes in the spine of the pages and the spine of our cover, just like this. And then using some thread, I will be going through that center hole, then the top, then the bottom, and then back through the center like this, and just tying it off over that center stitch like this. and that is going to hold our pages in place. Now again, if that was too fast for you, we do have that like slow tutorial step by step that you can find in the description box if you are curious and would like a little more instruction. And now you could kind of just leave it here if you want to be done and just have like a little book for writing in. You could just keep it real simple. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of decorating, so I'm going to show you that sort of real quick what I did for that. So to start off, I'm going into that Mothers and Daughters kit, and I just found this little ephemera piece here, going over it with some ink, and I also added an eyelet to the top just to make it a little more decorative. And it's going to go behind this pocket from the kit that I also went over with ink. And I had a little bit of that string from when I sewed the pages in, and I just wanted to use it up, so I'm making a little bow here. And I'm just going to glue this down onto the inside of the front cover, adding some ephemera pieces from this kit, as well as our new Victorian rose tags and labels kit. Since it was laying on the table, I thought it was real pretty, so I just decided to use that up as well. And then for the inside of the back cover, I took the pinwheel envelope from the Mothers and Daughters kit and just glued it down and used one of these faux wax seals from Sealing Deer, and I'm going to just kind of use that in the center just for decoration. And then to decorate the cover, I'm taking some different ribbons that I have. I picked these up at Walmart, I believe. And I'm just going to sort of layer them and decorate the cover. I also added a label from the Mothers and Daughters kit that was included and glued that to the cover as well here. And went over it with a little bit of stitching to create a border with some pink and green thread, which my sewing machine was not being kind to me this day. The foot fell off while I was sewing. But you know, it's okay. Just gonna let it be, work with it. Then I went ahead and added a little bit more of this pink ribbon and a bow. I do have a link for those bows. It's included in our link of all of our materials on our website, so that will be in the description box as well. And then using a little more ribbon around the cover, as well as this page tab that I glued to the top. And I did add some distress ink and a small like scrap that I had to like fill in the blank, what do I want to call that, like book plate, the faux book plate that's on the tab, just so it wasn't so blank. You could write something in there like a name or something if you wanted to. I'm just kind of keeping it simple with the decorating today. And then these little tags come from the Victorian rose tags and labels kit, and I just used a bulb pin and a paper clip to sort of secure those on, and just clipped it onto the lace to make like a little dangle charm here. And then for decorating the inside, I didn't want the journal to be too thick, so I'm keeping it really simple. I'm just going to use some ribbons to help finish up the pages and make them look a little more, you know, cohesive, finished, decorative, whatever. So just doing that on the inside cover as well as all of these pages. And I just took various laces that I used on the front cover, and I used them along like the edges of the pages, both vertically and horizontally. And I even took some ribbon and used it to make like a little belly band here to tuck some ephemera pieces from the kit into it, just like that. And here's kind of what that looked like when I was all finished, adding all of the lace. Just a little bit of decoration here. Again, I didn't want it to be too bulky because it might not fit under the clip. I just wanted to make sure that we had plenty of writing space, and that's kind of going to finish up today's tutorial. So just a little quick flip through of what it looks like when it's all done. You've got, you know, some little bit of decoration, some writing space, just kind of a quick fun project. Maybe if you're like new to junk journaling and you want to just try making a quick, small, simple journal that you can write in, or if you want to make like maybe a journal for Mother's Day that you could write like a little story in for your mom or something like that, this would be like a really cute little gift with the matching writing board. So just a fun, simple project to do in a calm afternoon. So all right, that is going to finish today's tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye!